Hi everyone, it is February. I don't know what day it is, whatever. It's Monday. It's like the 23rd or the 24th. And this is really just going to be a very random video. I don't have anything in particular to talk about. I do have a couple of books that I got that I'm excited about. And this is really going to be like, I guess, a resolution update video. Whereas January, I was doing very well. February has not proved to be very productive. So, firstly, I have not watched any of my movies. I tried to finish Cabaret, and something happened with my internet, and I wasn't able to finish it. And then I had rented The Maltese Falcon, but I still haven't watched it. So for the month of February, I haven't watched any of my movies on the AFI list, which is not good because it backs me up. And then as for my knitting goes, I'm working on a pair of socks for an elderly lady at my church, and so here they are. I think I showed them to you guys when I first started them. I got this out of the Two at a Time Socks book. And I'm like halfway done with them. And not even. And February is almost over, and I'm supposed to be finishing one project a month in February, so not super thrilled about that. And then as for my reading goes, I did read one book in February, which is good because my reading goal is to read one book a month. And I'm in the process of reading Mules and Men by Zora Neale Hurston, and I'm not super enjoying it. I'm not saying that it's a bad book, but it's not, and I want to reserve it to do like a full review on it. But it just was not as enthralling, I guess, as I would have liked to hope. And I feel myself kind of laboring through it and just getting through it just to get it done. My children are separated right now, so I have one of my sons with me, and then my daughter and my other son, Darius, the one that has cancer, is with my mother-in-law because my husband and I and my son were sick and we didn't want to run the risk of getting him sick, so they're with their grandmother, and so I have my son with me. So I have like a big block of time now the next week during the day while my son is at school to kind of get some of these things done, so I'm hoping that I can finish this book and finish these socks so I can be on target for my resolution goal. But this month has not been very good. I'm behind on my videos. Like, this month has just not been very good. But on a positive note, I've been super busy this month because I've just been doing a lot of stuff with friends. So I had a friend come and visit me from out of town. Then I had another out-of-town friend come and visit, and so I spent the weekend kind of hanging out with her. And so I've just been doing a lot more socially. And I'm learning that in order to read and stuff, it really is a discipline. The month of January, I stayed in the house almost all the time, and it's because I was constantly reading. And now that I've been going out a little bit more and stuff, my reading has slacked. And so for this year, I'm definitely going to have to make some decisions with regards to what I do with my time. So, yeah, I was like, man, like off to the races in January and doing really well. And in February, just went, and it just fell down. But you know what? I am optimistic. And I plan on sticking through and getting things done. So anyways, let me talk about these two books that I got really quickly. That was just like a little update, whatever. So Darius has a homebound tutor that comes to the house and teaches him because he's not able to go to school because of his cancer schedule. And she knows that I love books. So she hooked me up with a bunch of children's books that one of her friends were retiring or something and stuff. And then she brought me this book, and I'm so excited about this because it's one of my all-time favorite books. I've read it 2 times, maybe even 3 times. And I didn't have it, oddly enough. I had it before and then didn't have it. And so she was like, oh, I don't know if you want this book, but I saw this and it made me think of you. And I was like, oh my gosh! Like, I screamed. And so that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And this is a really cool copy of this book because it's hardcover. Kind of looks like a textbook, but the pages are really nice. And it's illustrated, so it has all these like pictures and stuff in it, and the edges are kind of, you know, like that old kind of look. And I just love this book so much. It's one of my favorite books, and I didn't realize that I didn't have it. And so when she gave this to me, I was super thrilled. So I'm really excited about this one, even though I won't be reading it this year because I read it before. But I'm glad that I do finally have that book, or I have it again, because I don't know what happened to my copy. I must have lent it to someone or something. And then the next book that I got is called The Lost Prince by Selden Edwards. It's a novel. Got it for free. Went to a bar. And the bar that we went to has books that you can take. And actually, I was super excited about going because I got The Hunt for Red October at that bar. And then found this one, and it looked interesting. The cover is so beautiful. And I looked it up on Goodreads, and it had 3.41 stars or something like that. Which is kind of a little low, but I don't know. It's free, so you can't beat free. So, and even if I never really read it or I don't really like it, the cover's gorgeous, so it'll look really pretty on my shelves. And so I was excited about getting this book. And apparently this guy wrote a book called The Little Book. And I think it's a precursor to this one, so I may have to go and pick that one up. And then that one was a New York Times bestseller. It's supposed to be very good. So, this one may have been not as good as the first one, and that's kind of what I get from reading the reviews and stuff like that, but it still sounds like a relatively interesting story, and I love novels that are written in different time periods, which it looks like this one was kind of done around the 20s era, at least by the picture, 30s, and which is a really cool era for me, or an era that I think is really cool. And I guess I can read the synopsis because I haven't even read it. So, it says, recently returned from the experience of a lifetime in Fiendes, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Vienna, where she met and tragically lost her first great love, Eleanor Burden has no choice but to settle into her expected place in society, marry the man she's supposed to marry, and wait for life to come to her. As the 20th century approaches, Eleanor's story is not unlike that of the other young women she grew up with in 1890s Boston, a privileged upbringing punctuated by a period of youthful adventure and followed by the inevitable acknowledgement of real life, except for one small difference. Eleanor possesses an unshakable belief that she has advanced knowledge of every major historical event to come during her lifetime. But soon the script of events she has written in her mind, a script described by no less than Sigmund Freud as the invented delusions of a hysteric, begins to unravel. Eleanor Burden, at once fragile and powerful, must find the courage of her deepest convictions, discover the difference between predetermination and free will, secure her belief in her own sanity, and decide whether she will allow history to unfold, come what may, or use her extraordinary gifts to bend history to her will and deliver for her the life she knows she is meant to have. They wrote that this was Back to the Future for the intellectual set. So, sounds interesting, honestly. Kind of sci-fi-ish. So, and the cover's gorgeous. So, I'm excited about possibly getting into that book whenever I get into it, because I just have so many books to get into. But anyways, so there's my update, and those are the two books that I got. Like I told you, I love getting books in very quirky ways. So those are my kind of quirky acquisitions for the month. I will be doing a video reviewing the Mules and Men by Zora Neale Hurston. And then I will also do a video outlining what I'm going to be reading for the month of March, or what I'd like to read for the month of March. I actually have a very lofty goal for the month of March, and I'm not sure that I'm going to get to it because I'm supposed to be going to Vegas with some friends, and my birthday's in March, and so we're just going to have to see. I'm definitely going to have to discipline myself for the month of March and kind of knock these books out. And I actually have a really cool idea for April, which I'm kind of excited about. I think I'm going to do all nonfiction for April. March I'll do Women's History Month, and so I'll only read female authors. April, I think I want to do all nonfiction because I never read nonfiction books, and so I think I'm going to try to find some. I got the Geisha book that I talked about, and that's a work of nonfiction, and so I might try to find some other nonfictional books. My husband has this really interesting book about hallucinations that I might read, and he loved it, so that's probably what I'll be doing for the month of April. But I will actually do a video and talk about the actual titles that I'm going to read. So, yeah, that's it. This is a 10-minute long video. I have got to go. I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Kissies, kissies. Goodbye. Oh, I hate it when that happens. I'm telling you, I'm seriously pressing the button. Goodbye.